For the last week or so, I've only been uploading money-making methods, so let's take a step back and do something fresh for once. We'll be comparing two mage weapons, one that costs a lot, and one that's basically free, and see what the difference truly is, and the results are very surprising. Today's video will be kind of a different video, as the whole video will be unscripted and more of commentary over a dungeons run, while I give my thoughts on these weapons and test them to the best of my ability. If you enjoy my videos, drop me a like, and subscribe for daily Skyblock videos. We're coming up on 15,000 subs, which is halfway to that red YouTube name. And did I mention the Bonzo cosplay stream I'll be doing? Ring the notification bell and you will be granted extra magic find and pet lock. Check the description for all the goods and join my Discord. We have over 1,400 members and it's a great place to talk and stuff. Thanks and enjoy the video. Hello, it's your boy, the Guide Toad himself, without a script. And today we're going to be comparing two weapons. We're going to be comparing the Spirit Scepter with the Dreadlord Sword, because a lot of people have been telling me that Dreadlord Sword is super good. And, you know, I'm not really buying it. I don't think it's that good of a weapon, but I'll give it its fair chance. So massive shoutouts to my guild member Hypixel for loaning me all of this mage gear, because there's no way I would have been able to make this without his help. But here's a great example of just me kind of soloing an angry archaeologist. We're almost able to first cycle him, but he is kind of like coded to splash the potions before he dies. So there is that going for him. But yeah, we have the 3/4 Necrotic Adaptive 5-star, 5-star Shadow Goggles, we have a 5-star Spirit Scepter, and the Dreadlord Sword. And we're going to be just kind of giving it the best comparison test possible, seeing if the Dreadlord Sword is all that it speaks up to be. So the main deal behind the Spirit Scepter is it shoots a bat, and once the bat lands, it does massive area of effect damage that pretty much can do about 200,000 damage to every single creature it hits. Although if they do have a damage cap, you're going to see like that with the Lost Adventurer here. Oh, we almost first cycled him. The Spirit Scepter is definitely the way to go. However, I've been told that if you have almost no mana, the Dreadlord Sword is fantastic for doing some mild damage to enemies like this. And as you can see, we're actually doing about 65 to 70% of our damage while using this Dreadlord Sword. And since we have no mana, the Dreadlord Sword is kind of the weapon of choice to choose here, because we're still able to attack this Lost Adventurer, but we don't have any mana, which means the Spirit Scepter, we're not going to be able to use it because it costs, 125 mana, but we have Ultimate Wise 5 on it, which is nice. Well, the Dreadlord Sword only costs 40, so you're able to spam the Dreadlord Sword about infinitely if you have enough mana. Well, the Spirit Scepter, if we're spamming it, you can see my mana bar goes down really fast. So the Spirit Scepter is kind of the weapon of choice if you have a ton of mana, but once you run out of mana, you're supposed to switch to the Dreadlord Sword because it does little less than the same damage to true, damage cap enemies like the Shadow Assassins, the Lost Adventurers, and some boss monsters like in the Blood Room. But as you can see, if I'm trying to take out this area of mobs right here, it's going at a relatively slow pace because this weapon isn't really built for damage compared to the Spirit Scepter, which just destroys everything in sight the second it sees it. So the Dreadlord Sword is really only useful for taking out monsters like Shadow Assassins and other things that have true damage. So when you're trying to just take out these monsters, if you have literally no other choice, I mean, the Dreadlord Sword, it's okay, but as you can see, it's only doing about 8,000 damage. If Hypixel would stop lagging here, it's doing maybe a quarter of the damage of the Spirit Scepter, which is pretty big of a significant jump between the two weapons. So I wouldn't recommend using the Dreadlord Sword if you can help it, but in a pinch, it's definitely looking like it's going to be super useful. We'll do another test in the boss, of course, because the boss is going to be a whole different scenario. We have huge waves of monsters, and we'll be able to test it much better. So I think unless something interesting happens, I will cut to the boss. It seems as if our healer has rage quit after two of our party members died. One of them was me, of course. But looks like we're going to have to take out these fairies here because we need revive stones because our healer kind of rage quit. Yeah, the Dreadlord Sword is definitely coming in handy once I run out of mana. We were still able to... I'll let him grab the TNT if he wants it. But again, if we go in with the Spirit Scepter, we can pretty much mow them down at a little over the same rate. They were taking about 3,800 damage with the Dreadlord Sword, and they're taking about 4,600. Okay, 3,100 versus 4,600. There's your kind of damage comparison. For Trios, please, I don't have any more revive stones, and everyone else is dead. Thank you. As I was trying to say here, they do almost the same damage, which is really, really nice. So if you look, it does 4,600 versus the sword's 3100. But the sword, again, doesn't use any mana. So I'm not really sure what's better. Obviously, the Spirit Scepter is better for enemies that don't have a damage cap. So that's just going to be your average zombie, soldier, grunt, and things like that. Alright, so we're going to go into the Thorn boss here, and we are definitely not winning because half of our party has just left us. And, well, that guy's in zombie soldier, so we'll see how this goes. So here we go. Now we can show the Spirit Scepter versus the Dreadlord sword in the boss fight. So as you can see on the left, my Spirit Scepter is doing about 100,000 damage to all these mobs here. You can see it's doing 60, 61,000. And hold on, we gotta be careful of the chickens. And if I switch over to the Dreadlord sword, looks like about 42,000 damage. So it's around a 30% increase. If I die, it's over. I have no revives. I have 1 revive stone left. The Spirit Scepter does about 30% more damage than the Dreadlord sword. So if you're just looking to spam something, the Spirit Scepter, if you have the coins for it, definitely is going to take the cake damage-wise. And the only reason you should really ever use the Dreadlord sword is if you are out of mana and you're trying to fight the things that have damage caps. Otherwise, you're better off just running away and saving yourself. So I'm gonna run down, try to grab the bow here because I have a tiger pet and that's the only thing that might actually save us. But yeah, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to do this. It'll be probably pretty close. But if you want my final opinions now, I'm gonna probably say the Spirit Scepter is still the best weapon, absolutely. The only reason you would ever want a Dreadlord sword in your hotbar is if you run out of mana often and are kind of in a pinch, you're fighting something that has a damage cap. These bats are still attacking me. Actually, the Dreadlord sword is being somewhat useful in this situation because I'm consistently running out of mana over and over again. And whenever I do, I just swap over to this Dreadlord sword and then I'm good to go. All right, where's this bow? Give me the bow. Come on, come on. Tiger Pet, do your thing. You have one job, Mr. Tiger Pet. You can do it. Where's Thorn? Thorn, come here. Do your job, Tiger. Darn it, you didn't do your job. Alright, well there's no point in using him anymore. But yeah, so if you are running the Dreadlord sword build, you're better off spamming the Spirit Scepter, or whatever your main weapon is, until you are completely out of mana. Then you swap over to the Dreadlord sword, and you can spam that while you're getting your mana back. So, would I recommend that every single mage carries a Dreadlord sword on them? Yes, actually. It's not the best weapon for dealing damage by any means, but you can consistently use it, so running out of mana is not an issue with this. So in conclusion, the Spirit Scepter is obviously way better, but I would still recommend carrying this Dreadlord sword in your hotbar. This is because it requires basically no mana to use, and you can spam it infinitely for about 30% less damage than the Spirit Scepter. I know this video was a little bit different, but if it was mildly entertaining, then drop me a like. I did edit this a lot because obviously it was an entire floor 4 run that was pretty scuffed, half our party left. So yeah, drop me a sub if you want to see more Skyblock guides, videos, all that kind of stuff, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Alright, take care.